Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. So today we are doing a review of this thing. Do you know what it is? Have you heard of it? It is an IPL laser machine. I feel like I have seen these around on social media quite a lot recently, and I was very kindly sent this by a company called Skinbae. And completely by coincidence, it was actually a week after I had gone to get my first ever laser hair removal session at a professional salon. So when they offered this to me to send it so I could do it at home, I thought that sounds great. So I've tried this out. Today we're going to do a bit of a review. I'm going to tell you how it works, a bit of a demonstration, pros, cons, should you invest in one? Let's get into it. So first of all, what is IPL therapy? So IPL stands for Intense Pulsated Light Therapy. It is similar to laser hair removal, but also quite different. So laser hair removal, what that does, it uses a single wavelength of light and it penetrates into your hair follicles. The light energy turns into heat energy. It damages the hair follicle enough for it to stop growing. IPL works in a similar way, but instead of using just one wavelength, it uses multiple different wavelengths. And because of that, it is a little bit weaker. But that means that as well as hair removal, you can use it to treat skin imperfections, fine lines and wrinkles, discoloration, things like acne scars, rosacea, all that good stuff. So essentially how this works, the laser is attracted to the contrasting colors between the melanin, which is the pigment in our hairs, and our skin. So if you have pale skin and dark hairs, this is going to be the most effective for you. So it's not going to be great for people who have pale skin and pale hair because it's just not going to be enough pigment there to absorb the light. Similarly, if you have dark skin and dark hairs, it means there's going to be too much melanin and it's just going to absorb all the light and not differentiate between where the hair starts and where the skin starts. That's kind of my understanding of how these work. First of all, if you are using this for hair removal, you want to shave the area that you're going to be using it on. Say for example, I want to have a completely smooth and hairless arm. I would shave the arm first, power this up, and then essentially what you do, hold it against the skin and you have a button here that you click. And as you click, it shoots out little laser beams. And when I first did it, I freaked out because I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Because it basically comes out with like little flashes. They're not painful. The only thing is that it can get a little bit hot if you are using a very, very high intensity, but you can adjust the intensity. It has up to 10 different levels. So it's just kind of where you feel comfortable. And once you've found a comfortable level, you can just stick to that, and I have found that it's not painful at all. You can also use a cooling gel before you start using this, and you can just find that on Amazon or somewhere, and that is going to reduce the heat sensation if that is something that bothers you particularly. So let's do a live demonstration now on my pubic area, and I will put a clip in here. Joking. We're gonna use my leg. Now, what are the pros of using a laser hair gun? So obviously as a feminist, I resent all forms of body hair removal, but here I am conforming to 21st century beauty standards. And because of that, shaving is fine, but it gets itchy and it grows back pretty quickly, and stubbly it's just not very nice. Waxing is nothing short of medieval torture. So I feel like this is actually a really clean, nice way of just getting rid of your hairs. And best of all, it is semi-permanent. And when I say semi-permanent, I mean that the hairs just don't grow back as thick or as quickly. And the more you use this, the more sessions you do, the less your hair grows back, and eventually the idea is that it's pretty much a permanent hair removal. So I think that that is great, that it's something that you can do at home, because personally I hate going to the salon. I think it takes up time, it costs a lot of money, and you know you're just going to be back again the next month. So I also tried this out on an area where I had quite a few ingrown hairs, again from waxing. It has made the marks a lot less red. The more you continue to use it, the more those marks become faded. So I think that this is a really great solution for people like myself who are not only prone to ingrown hairs, but also have a few marks from previously ingrown hairs. So another thing that I liked about this company, Skinbae specifically, is that they provide you with some protective blue glasses. In the box, you also are provided with a schedule that tells you exactly how long you should wait between each session to get the most effective results. So at the beginning, the sessions are going to be closer together. So between the first and the second, I think there's between 10 and 14 days. But then the more you use it, the further away those sessions become, and eventually you really don't need to be using it very much at all. And it is important to follow this schedule so that you are not overdoing it in terms of the sessions. Obviously follow instructions very carefully, especially when you're using a laser. All the packaging that it arrives in is fully biodegradable and environmentally friendly. And in terms of its power life, this actually has double the amount of flashes over its lifetime as opposed to some of the bigger brands on the market. So now that we've talked about the pros, let's have a look at some of the cons of using this little number. Generally, in terms of side effects, it is very safe, but like I mentioned before, there can be instances where people either report a burning sensation or hyper or hypopigmentation. Generally, if you are encountering either of those things, it probably means that you are using it wrong, either you're using it too often or too high in intensity. So if that is the case, obviously reduce the amount of times that you're using it, or just reduce the power level to a level that is much more comfortable. Another thing that is a bit of a con is that it is a little bit awkward to use. Like if you're doing it in your bikini area, like you can't really see what you're doing quite often, and you often have to like have your legs splayed out. It doesn't always feel super accurate because you don't always see what you're doing. And the final thing is that it isn't super cheap, but the way that I see it is that it is definitely cheaper to get one of these machines once than it is to go every single month for an appointment at a salon. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it. It is a bigger upfront cost, but over time I think it will save you money. Another con that I found, which might be personal to me, is that because you have to shave the area that you are using it on for hair removal, after a few days, obviously that does grow back, especially on the first few sessions, which I personally find really itchy and really uncomfortable, especially because I'm used to always getting a wax. And I think some people are just going to be used to shaving, so that's not going to be a problem for them. But for me personally, I really didn't like that. And I think that what happens is the more I use this, the less the hair grows back. So that is going to be a temporary problem, but it's just something that I thought I should bring up. So in summary, I am really happy to have one of these. I think this is going to save me a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's a very clean, easy way to do hair removal, and hopefully something which means that I'm going to have to do less hair removal in the future, which is a great thing. So if you're interested in this brand specifically, it is quite a new brand called Skinbae. I really like them. I will leave a link in the description box down below to this particular machine. Like I said, really good. If you have any questions or any other comments, please do leave it in the comment section down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you again very soon for another video. Bye.